strong.
And it's one of the strongest level 1s as well. Keria will end up with this Recon, which is kind of risky, to be honest. It's tough to engage on most of these champions. Like, Ahri is very mobile. Vi is not necessarily the target you want. She can engage on you as well and lock you in place.
Not a lot of incidental damage, though, on DRX right now. Often it has to be like a skill shot lands or something like that. There's no equalizers you're going to be dancing through. So if Keria plays it really well, he could have some pretty amazing angles.
I'll be honest with you. If you take the nameplates away, I feel like DRX has a giga draft gap here. Like, they have
over the top. Let's jump onto the Rift and see whether that does indeed happen. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the second game of our final series of the night. T1's debut series started off with a bang with a Game 1 victory, and now seeing whether they can do it again up against DRX here in game number 2. DRX, though, as you can see by the champions that are listed on the left, pretty good, you could say.
Yeah, me and SK Telecom Dynasty started off with a bang as well.
So did the whole universe.
Yeah, true.
Apparently. And
like
Foxfire is making Faker's life quite difficult, but he will be able to go back. Should be A-okay. You can see only 4 minions behind or something like that. As, oh dear, Doran in a little bit of trouble. One more, and the flashes need to be traded. Doran will survive, but this is looking dicey. Why did you walk up?
Oh my God,
Why did he walk? Oh God, if there was another passive
if he died, I would have lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, actually lost it.
Thankfully, Wolf gets to stay on the desk because
I may have said bad words. He has the perfect flash to the Q3 there of Rich, and it just walks right back in.
It is.
We are looking to potentially have a big skirmish here around these grubs, as unfortunately for Faker, he has no prio here. He is sitting at full health and can steal the Ahri ult to zoom over. But looking pretty good for DRX going for the contest here. Teddy is level 4, though.
All right, Faker has stolen away an ulti here, as Yukao could be in a bit of trouble, but the charm will land. Sponge moving over, only level 5. As Ona still onto these grubs. Oh dear, okay. Still, that doesn't mean that Sponge can press an R button because he still doesn't have that one available. One grub has now been taken as Keria looking for a grand entrance angle. The charm goes wide. That could spell the end for Yukao, but still looking for an angle. Flash out from Sponge as Guma level 5, but does have that make it rain to slow him down. And DRX not able to get any joy when it comes to these grubs. T1 should be able to just go back and grab the third one if they would like it.
Man, that tempo hijack from Faker was actually insanely high value. Just pushes Yukao away. They're able to get the faster group there. And it's just moments like that where you're like, sure, 200 gold down, doesn't matter. As Keria,
he's just going in. Ona might be able to take away the blue buff, but no, early smite there. As once again, Sponge looking for an angle, but Andal just gets himself out with the flash.
Great flash from Andal, because if he doesn't flash at that exact moment, he might get insect. Which would have been a disaster. Well, not the full insect, but a flash kicked.
Which insect?
Probably dragonfly.
Ah, yeah, cool.
Splat on the windshield kind of situation.
Yeah.
But he flashed it. It's okay. He's good.
Yeah. So no insect for Andal, and that is a good thing.
Yeah, just drops that one down. Nothing occurs there really. As one of our longer first bloods.
Yeah, this one's taking a while, and things are extraordinarily even. 3 grubs went over to T1, but that is it when it comes to the objectives. Ona looking to augment that with a dragon at the same time, but now Sponge has an R button, presses it, the charm is going to be found here, and this is the Ahri Vi combo. Not a lot Faker can do. Goes down very low, but Keria, not enough to save him, and he's going to have to flash to safety as well. DRX, I mean, this duo doing exactly what it says on the tin.
Looking really clean, looking really good. And Faker was able to, with Keria's help, at least deny Yukao the kill.
Okay, Doran still able to offer a bit of damage back in that trade.
I don't know if Doran can quite stick this dragon just yet.
Whoa, Rich really finding a few of these combos.
There's not a lot of killing happening in this game, but there's certainly a lot of trading and aggression.
Yeah, certainly things are happening.
Yeah, I think it might be a ruinous game, with all the damage. No, not quite, but
Ruinous game with like a 9-minute first blood and only 1 kill here at 11
Hey,
minutes.
some of the damage done in lane and skirmishes does add up.
And it is worth more now, and that's why we are actually seeing more of the a situation that Sponge will need to try and contest. Looks like 4 grubs should go over to T1 though.
Faker and Rich both have teleport. Rich has Prio, could come up here to try to affect this play.
Well, this is a little bit awkward actually, because they are now split. Owner will be able to wrap around as that grub is going to reset.
Once
Sponge
UCal
getting into
gets here, I think T1 need to evacuate. They cannot actually, I mean, they will just be chain CC. That single target blow up is absolutely real.
Yeah. So Smite going to be invested here, and it looks like DRX are just going to give up the remaining 2 grubs. T1 should be sitting on 5 moving into the rest of the game.
Yeah, I
feels
think
real good.
In terms of a team fight there, if DRX were in position to fight it, they win 100%, but T1 were just playing the map better. They were threatening plates, and DRX eventually had to say, look, they're playing too far back, we can't engage on them, and also we're losing plates, so they had to make the decision to back away.
Ooh, another Smite actually available here for Sponge, so he'll be able to grab the second one, but still 4-2. T1 going to have some Void Mites to help them out, and that's going to be feeling pretty good.
So the 600 gold lead feels just like a 600 gold lead. It's now a 500 gold lead, but
yep.
It's only a small advantage. These next few fights are really going to be where the game breaks open.
Ooh,
Sponge with a wraparound.
Oh dear. Doran could be in a whole lot of trouble here as he's not able to ult his way out. Good sidestep there as now Carrier comes in. Vault Breaker right on top of him. Gets the quickness down, and Sponge is now the target. Infernal Chains not really doing too much as Andal. He comes down. Nice arrow just supporting the rest of the team as it sails by. Maybe there were snacks on it and they got to pick a snack off the arrow to find some sustenance or something like that. Otherwise, he didn't able to stand beside Sponge. And Faker finding some chains here, looking for the solo kill onto UCal, but once again, it's going to be a charm landing. Meanwhile, more fighting here towards the bottom side of the map as the flash over the wall there, and another stand beside me.
After that last passage of play. And Owner is going to start this Dragon without really any teammates nearby, but they are rotating over now. Doran does have TP, so...
Ooh, UCal's backing and doesn't have teleport, so it looks like it is just going to be a give up on the Dragon type scenario.
Potentially first brick here on this dive if they commit.
Yeah.
They won't, though.
So it is just the Dragon going down. Mountain Soul this game as well. Feels a little bit better than the Chemtex that we have been seeing so far today. But now, Rift Herald going to be started up. Carrier in the area. Gumiushi and Ona moving their way over. Sonic Wave going to go wide. And it was some fancy footwork, but now Faker looking to try and take this turret down, and
the turret means feats of strength for them if he actually takes it. So it's worth if they just give this up. TP going to come down to try to defend it.
Yeah, so down he goes. Faker should just be able to focus on this though, and you can see that is exactly what he wants, and there it is. Feats of strength going on over, and the charm is even going to miss. Faker, like, I feel like he has lost lane twice in a row, but is always the one that finds the most advantages.
I mean, sees an angle to commit to that fight, but otherwise can just get feats of strength and turret gold by finishing it off, and that's exactly what he did.
Ooh, Owner and Carrier all diving in. There's a public execution, and Rich, in the blink of an eye, is just dead. Yeah, you saw the little head movement there, and the player cam, he's just like, well, I guess I'm dead. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there.
Yeah, the problem is there's not really a cross map. As even if they tried to commit to Faker there, he could just hijack and get away.
Well, now it's going to be a 3,000 gold lead, just out of nowhere.
Yeah. Pulling it out of some big turrets that T1 are killing with their grub lead.
Still connects.
Nice catch by Owner.
Yeah, it may have missed, in fact. As cease and desist does come on through, Owner will in fact cease and or desist the living thing. Ooh, but Teddy potentially able to get the first turret here for DRX.
So that 3,000 goldie didn't quite happen. Good defense there from DRX, but it looked for a moment there like they were just going to fall over.
And actually, DRX are looking to try and pull this one back. Teddy, though, is going to take the majority of his health bar, and yeah, he's not feeling too great about it. Does get a bit of a heal as that's a great charm from UCal, but another public execution as Teddy flashes out of the way and will be able to survive. UCal grabbing that kill, big deal to try and get some more money onto the Ahri. As Rich not wanting the 1v1 with Faker.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what it's like to be the Faker of HOTS, and he sees Faker on the other side. Like,
true.
I wouldn't mess with me back then, so I'm out of here. Okay, he got it. Okay, so he was a little bit faster than I thought, so that's big.
Yeah, got the tick over, so slight level advantage here for UCal. Good.
No second item for Teddy, but they do have a lot of control over this area. Herald dropped as well. I think T1 would be wise to consider giving this up.
Well, this turret seems to be where DRX are kind of focused for now. They do need to stop T1 from getting that soul point.
Yeah, and actually the Herald drop made me think the Dragon was spawning faster than it actually was. It didn't spawn when they dropped it, so the Herald just got denied and they didn't hold the prio, so T1's still contesting for this.
Yep, and the Dragon, we saw it just flap its way down, so you can see there the announcement as Drake has entered the game. 100 gold the difference between the two teams, but 2 Drakes makes T1's game state feel a little bit better than that of DRX right now.
FAKER waiting for something here. It didn't have teleport, so...
Yeah, does manage to get it. So Cosmic Drive now completed. So 2-item spike comes in, does have that ahead of UCAL.
And interestingly, his rod is later, so we'll get more value out of the level up he'll get. But unfortunately, he won't be here for this Dragon, so it looks like DRX are just simply going to take their first of the game. And with a pretty tanky, high-health Ahri build with some additional resistances, if they keep stacking these.
We have a really relevant question that was just asked in our group chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Valdez was wondering, because I often say about things written on tins, what does it actually say on the tin? As we're going to have to hold that thought. Owner throwing Sponge out of there, delivered underneath the turret is slightly suboptimal, and immediately Sponge just goes down. Can they get the answering kill, though, as Doran is dancing away from the fight? Charm connects on a FAKER, but he is still looking for more. Chains go wide. Rich still at full health, and FAKER may have overextended, but he's got another dash. The cavalry are coming down, but they're seen on the vision as the quickness dives forward, and there's the bullet time. They take down the Rakan, though. It was an awkward situation, and the turret is also going to fall. Ultimately, in the end, I think it was just completely even.
Yeah, it's just a 1-for-1 support for jungle. They do end up pulling it off, grabbing that turret. The game is still even. They're looking for another turret here to make it basically dead even in terms of gold. Well, Dragon is spawned. T1 do not have prio in mid, and DRX, I mean, this is their fight to lose.
Sponge just aggressively picking up the banana brush control.
Teddy needs to be very careful with his positioning. There's a lot of tools that T1 can use to get on top of him. The Ambessa, the Silas, there's a lot of threats. But they have so much vision control, it's really tough for T1 to fight into this.
Yeah, so much of this vision has already been taken away here, as they can just wait out the Sonic Wave.
Look at how careful Teddy is positioning. He's like, I'm way back.
Yeah, and he needs to stay away from FAKER, because a hijacked arrow could be a real big deal.
Exactly.
For T1 as Carrier on that flank angle, and he gets into the pit. Now it's an opportunity to kick out onto Andal through Rich here, but it is going to be FAKER that locks down the Dragon. That's kind of crazy. Sponge goes in, but Rich is in amongst it as well. The bullet time interrupted pretty quickly, but DRX are just kind of melting. Finally, they find some angles, and Rich getting the huge heals as he looks to exit. It was an even fight until then. FAKER dives forward, looks for Rich, but he doesn't get it. The Infernal Chains, and it's UCAL that locks down the kill. Orbit Deception coming on through here, but there's a right click, and Gumayushi's able to take down the Ahri. Only Rich staying alive here.
9,000 damage for Gumayushi.
Crazy. It's not the kind of blowout that we saw last time, and that's the great thing about this, because now we still get to see another fight. Well, something might happen.
It might be about to be like that, because similarly to last game, T1 have full vision control here, and if DRX just trickle through, just like they did last game, it will be the exact same thing that happened in game 1.
They are looking to do it. Single ward.
Yeah, it's exact same situation as game 1.
All right, well, the arrow is going to connect onto Doran. This Otacon is extraordinarily low as UCAL looking to make his way in. The public execution is fantastic as FAKER is going to turn up as well. He picks up an arrow. Down goes Carrier to start this one off, but FAKER's gone golden. He's bought so much time, and Rich just cannot do enough. He's now looking to get onto Doran in that backline, but he's just a distraction. As now Rich flapping after them, looking for a bit of an angle here, as it's only Guma and Ona that are left alive, and the Otacon, thankfully for DRX fans. But yeah, I mean look, that bullet time just didn't feel like it did quite enough, as Doran once again caught out of position. The Infernal Chains pulls him back, but he uses the ulti, and Sponge is actually the one that falls down. This time, Carey is able to keep himself alive, and Rich is trying to be the hero, but it's not enough. He's CC'd and put down, and now T1 will find themselves that advantage they've been looking for.
And we had the fight, you know, we jumped into it a little bit late. I'd love to see exactly how the setup worked and how DRX thought they were going to win that exchange or the engage there. But put themselves in such a risky spot, and Teddy is just not able to actually front to back with his team when the front line goes in that deep and just kind of ends up popping. So it's Rich who thinks he's caught Doran here. Sponge actually ults onto the Ambessa. And then Carria's follow-up here is so phenomenal. They end up getting the charm on the Sponge. He dies first. Carria then gets a knock-up on the Rich to keep him out of the fight. Look at Teddy. Throws a volley in, and he's like, I'm sorry, that's all I got. You guys were way too far away. You were way too split. I can't offer anything here. And that's that. That's Otacon. That's Baron.
We've seen this before.
We just recently did, didn't we?
Okay. They're looking to try and lock down Faker here as Ona is going to stop Andal from following up. And Chains are going to connect. Faker going in one more time as World Enders happening across the board. But with a Mountain Soul available, I think Faker is definitely just a distraction at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, DRX are playing like they're the ones who have the withdrawals.
Oh, good dash to get out of the way of the arrow. And in the meantime, it is going to be Mountain Soul. Faker will be taken, or at least withdrawn. And now they're going in. Okay, Carrier is going to deliver Sponge to the rest of the team. And I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I think Sponge was reminded about how his ultimate works by Carrier there in that moment.
Yeah, and also reminded that the rest of his team was off killing Faker as Yukao going to be dashing away from Ona here.
You mean withdrawing Faker?
Yes, there we go. They were withdrawing Faker. Doran is going to try and ult, but does not quite manage to do so. Gumayushi just going to get them out of there, as Ona is continuing to chase Yukao as much as he possibly can, while the rest of his team are looking to win the game. Faker has popped back up again, and he is just going to teleport to this mid lane. Ultimate from Andal not going to do too much, as Faker's going to land that arrow. That is no worries at all. Going golden as the rest of these Nexus turrets fall down, and T1, I mean, it was kept even for quite some time, but they dispatch of the Nexus immediately after finding just one fight.